Heaven, hell, or a silent dissolution into a void no one can name? Across centuries, this question has echoed through the human spirit like a distant drumbeat. Civilizations have risen and fallen trying to answer it. Sacred scriptures, ancient myths, towering temples and hidden tombs all whisper the same confession. Humanity has never truly accepted death as an ending. In the Central Highlands of Vietnam, among vast forests, red basalt earth, and winds that seem to carry ancestral voices, people believe the soul does not depart so easily. It lingers, it watches, it waits. And strangely, it may dwell within the silent presence of nude wooden statues that stand around grave houses. Figures both raw and mysterious, carved not to decorate death, but to accompany it. For the people here, death is not disappearance. It is a continuation in another form of existence. Vietnam, sacred trails. Death is inevitable, yet the way each culture understands it reveals astonishing depths of human consciousness. Every belief system draws a hidden map of the journey a soul is thought to take after leaving the body. In Buddhism, death is not a full stop, but a transition within the endless cycle of reincarnation. The soul is reborn into one of 6 realms: heaven, asura, human, animal, hungry ghost, or hell, depending on the karma accumulated in life. The ultimate aim is nirvana, a serene liberation where the wheel of rebirth ceases forever. Consider the ancient Egyptians. Why did they preserve every strand of hair, every fingernail of the deceased? Because they believed the spirit remained eternally tied to the body. If the body decayed, the soul would wander incomplete, forever lost. This belief gave birth to the elaborate mummification ritual that could last up to 70 days, a painstaking process meant to protect the vessel so the soul could live on in the afterlife. Across cultures, death demands preparation. It requires rituals, architecture, symbols, and sacred care. Yet when you leave behind stone pyramids and theological doctrines and step into the spiritual landscape of Vietnam's Central Highlands, you encounter a radically different vision. Here, there are no pyramids, no terrifying hells, no spinning wheel of rebirth. The people of the Central Highlands believe the dead are still alive, just invisible. When a person dies, their soul doesn't leave immediately. It remains among the living, quietly continuing an existence much like before. The soul still eats, still sleeps, still listens to village stories, still sways with the ancient rhythm of gongs, and still feels the joys and sorrows of loved ones. Death is not seen as separation. So the living build a house for the dead. It is called a grave house. Multiple coffins may lie within one grave house. Relatives are buried together without distinction of wealth or age. Inside, the living leave familiar objects: an axe, a basket, a piece of cloth, earrings, blankets. These are not offerings. They are belongings meant to accompany a life that has not fully ended. Holes are carved into the coffin lids, so family members can feed the dead daily with rice, wine, and spring water. But the most striking presence lies outside. Encircling the grave house is a wooden fence filled with strange statues, human figures, animals, and scenes of startling emotion, fertility, and rawness. A pregnant woman. A man burying his face in grief. A couple locked in an unfinished embrace. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is censored. At first glance, visitors often feel shock, even discomfort. Exaggerated genitalia, intimate poses, distorted faces of sorrow or ecstasy. These statues seem to emerge from a wild dream where life and death blur into one another. But if you look longer, something changes. You begin to feel an intense vitality radiating from them. Ancient legends say that long ago, wealthy chiefs were buried with living servants to accompany them into the afterlife. Over time, this brutal custom was replaced. Wooden statues were carved instead. Wood replaced flesh. Statues replaced humans. But emotion and duty remained. Why then are these statues often nude? Is there a hidden myth only the Highland people still remember? Beyond legend lies a deeper meaning. Fertility symbolism. For generations, Highland women gave birth naturally in the forest. Many died in childbirth. When a mother died, her baby was buried with her. These sudden, tragic deaths left profound grief within the community. That grief found expression in wood. The abundance of pregnant figures and exaggerated reproductive organs is not obscenity. It is a powerful prayer for life, growth, fertile harvests, crowded villages, and for the dead not to feel lonely in the next world. Nudity here means life without concealment. The barer death is, the stronger the longing for life becomes. These statues are a visual philosophy of the human cycle. Birth, growth, decay, rebirth. From pregnant women to embracing couples to grieving men, the statues form a silent symphony of emotion, melancholic yet vibrant, sorrowful yet overflowing with life. No statue bears a signature. No one claims authorship. No one dares remove them from the grave house. They stand beneath sun and monsoon rains, slowly decaying with time. Wood cracks, moss grows, faces fade. Yet their spirit does not diminish. They are not art meant to last forever. They are companions meant to stay only as long as the soul lingers. Eventually, during the leaving the grave ceremony, the soul is believed to depart completely to the ancestral world. The grave house is abandoned. The statues are left to return to the forest. And that is precisely their destiny: to be born from wood, to witness death, to decay back into the earth, just like humans. At dusk, when golden light touches the grave houses of the Central Highlands, the statues seem to awaken. They carry both the quiet sadness of souls in transition and the enduring love of those left behind. Perhaps, for the Highland people, death is not an ending, but a continuation, simply in another dimension of existence. And these nude statues may be the final companions guiding souls back to the eternal origins of the forest. The mystery of death and what follows has always lived in human imagination. But here, in the Central Highlands of Vietnam, that mystery is carved into wood, exposed without shame, and left standing beneath the sky. Death for the people of the Central Highlands is not disappearance. It is presence in another form, a presence the living can still feed, still speak to, still care for. If you ever travel to Gia Lai, Kon Tum, or Jak Lak provinces in Vietnam's Central Highlands, you may encounter these grave houses quietly resting at the edge of villages. Stand before the statues. Look past the strangeness. Feel the philosophy they carry. You may begin to see that what appears primitive is, in truth, a profound meditation on life, loss, and continuity. This is not merely a place to visit. It is a place to contemplate what it truly means to live, and what it might mean to never entirely die.